I know that I've had some fun with Christians about Halloween, and hilariously, in my last video about it, I mispronounced Samhain, um, but I've been sick. I'm still getting over being sick, y'all, but today's the first day I really feel good, and this is the third video that I'm making today, so let's continue having fun with Christians about Halloween. What is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you beautiful, blasphemous bastards? Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. I am your boy, Nakasuchi, and Paul and Morgan have their opinions about Halloween, like most Christians seem to have nowadays. And, while most conservative Christians aren't for cancel culture, they sure seem to want to cancel Halloween. And Paul and Morgan are no different. Let's check it out.
Wow, we got a lot of people asking about Halloween.
All right, there we go. That is another good topic.
Gracious.
That is another good topic.
Y'all want to know about Halloween so bad.
Morgan, give them your thoughts on Halloween.
Never!
And if you didn't understand that guttural scream by Paul and Morgan, that was Morgan saying never, right? So you get it right away. That's her feelings, she's joking / not joking. And they're gonna get into it. So a lot of Christians asking Paul and Morgan about Halloween, if they should participate in Halloween, if they should dress their children up. Let's hear what Paul and Morgan have to say.
Whoa. I grew up, dressing up and going trick-or-treating, getting that candy. Our town, our little town, did, a big thing where all the businesses on Main Street would, give out candy. We would do that, and it was super fun. I loved it growing up.
All right, so you had super fun. You loved it growing up. Clearly, you see that it's really a harmless holiday. Holidays are what you make them. That's how I, as an atheist, can, participate in Christmas or even Thanksgiving, a holiday that I personally despise because of the implications of the story of the Native Americans, the story of the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, the whitewashing of history. I can turn that into a holiday about football and about family and my daughter, and it doesn't have to be about whatever else, right? Holidays are what we make them. You clearly didn't have bad experiences growing up with Halloween, so surely you're not going to have much of an issue with it.
Looking back on it, do you have any uneasiness in your spirit for what you guys engaged in?
No. My parents would not let any of us dress up as anything dark. I couldn't be a Well, actually, did they let me be a vampire?
It's just getting worse and worse.
No. I was not allowed to be.
Okay, good.
And we couldn't, be weird, bloody, gory things.
Well, I kind of disagree with the vampire thing. Vampires aren't real. They're fictional characters. Nothing demonic really about them outside of the fictions created about them. But the blood and gore, for little small children, yeah, excessive. Parents, I wouldn't do it. I don't recommend you do it. It's not very tasteful. I remember, what was her name? Tila Tequila dressing her baby up as Hitler. Probably not a good idea, but, it's basically harmless. You're dressing your kids up, they're going out, they're getting candy. You as a parent need to be vigilant about the candy they're bringing home. Don't let them eat it all. Don't let them eat it all in one sitting. Trust me, you'll regret that as a parent.
Yeah, looking back on it, I didn't feel weird about it at all. Now, I don't, I know we will not celebrate Halloween, as in, our kids will be very understanding that Halloween is not something to be celebrated. Will I let them dress? I think I would like to control the day. Wouldn't we all? No, but, throwing a fall party so that my kids our kids can dress up in costumes and have fun candy and make memories, but it's not about Halloween. It's a fall party of just family getting together, friends getting together, and having a good time.
Well, I mean, still, it's technically falling on Halloween if you're doing it on October 31st. And here, I really have no issues with it. A main issue I have with it is it's unoriginal. Like Girl Defined said this 2 Halloweens ago. I covered it. So, like, it's not original, but, like, do with your holiday what you will. Make it what you will. But don't run away from something because you're afraid of it, as I covered in the last video. And definitely don't have misinformed ideas about what this holiday is, what it stands for, and what it means.
Here's my thing though, like Halloween is not really like their origins are bad, they're cultish.
Demonic.
So you do need to use your discernment and judgment.
Like that, right? Like cultic, demonic, like where the fuck do you even get that? So I'm gonna do Paul and Morgan a grace here. I'm gonna do them a solid, and I'm gonna teach them real briefly where Halloween comes from, and I'm gonna use National Geographic, and I'm not demonetized, shouldn't affect the channel, but if it does, I'm stupid.
It all began with the Celts, a people whose culture had spread across Europe more than 2,000 years ago. October 31st was the day they celebrated the end of the harvest season in a festival called Samhain. That night also marked the Celtic New Year and was considered a time between years, a magical time when the ghost of the dead walked the earth.
See, nothing cultish, nothing demonic. You could call its origins pagan because it's Celtic and it comes from that time period, that tradition. And back then, 2,000 years ago, they thought that on October 31st, the veil between the living world and the veil between the world of the dead, the world where the people that they knew died and went to, that there was a thin veil there. And, you had to stay indoors after nightfall because, you didn't want to fall prey to a ghost. And, as it's going to explain, they would have bonfires to cast the ghost away and, just superstitious peoples. And really a beautiful holiday if you think about it. It's all about the harvest. It's all about the end of the year for them. But I won't get ahead of myself.
On Samhain, the villagers gathered and lit huge bonfires to drive the dead back to the spirit world and keep them away from the living. But as the Catholic Church's influence grew in Europe, it frowned on the pagan rituals like Samhain. In the 7th century, the Vatican began to merge it with a church-sanctioned holiday. So November 1st was designated All Saints' Day to honor martyrs and the deceased faithful.
All right, so I know you fundies really don't like Catholics and basically see them as demonic, but it's not the same thing. And you were talking about a time period where Protestants weren't even a thing yet. We're talking about a time period when Catholicism was grabbing hold of Western civilization, right? And Catholics were spreading all across Europe. And they didn't like these pagan holidays, not cultish, not demonic, pagan. They didn't like these pagan holidays, so they tried to incorporate it into the Christian religion. And they made it a Christian thing.
Both of these holidays had to do with the afterlife and about survival after death. It was a calculated move on the part of the church to bring more people into the fold.
All Saints' Day was known then as Hallowmas. Hallow means holy or saintly, so the translation is roughly Mass of the Saints. The night before, October 31st, was All Hallows' Eve, which gradually morphed into Halloween.
Oh my God, my Christian religion adopted this holiday and made it their own, and I have to practice it and do all these evil demonic things? Like sometimes it is way too easy with these people. Just like way too easy with these people.
The holiday came to America with the wave of Irish immigrants during the potato famine of the 1840s. They brought several of their holiday customs with them, including bobbing for apples and playing tricks on neighbors, like removing gates from the front of houses. The young pranksters wore masks so they wouldn't be recognized.
It even came to America without any pretense of demons, demonic, Satan worship, none of that. Irish immigrants came and they brought some of their customs. It became this thing that Americans did. American children, unruly children, on October 31st that wanted to cause some damage.
But over the years, the tradition of harmless tricks grew into outright vandalism.
Back in the 1930s, it really became a dangerous holiday. I mean, there was such hooliganism and vandalism. Trick-or-treating was originally a extortion deal. Give us candy or we'll trash your house.
And I mean, honestly, is there like anything more American than that? You know, capitalism at its finest, right? But all jokes aside, that's how this holiday came to America, right? And it's harmless, and it has nothing to do with Satan because Satan isn't real. It just isn't. Back in the day, in the 1930s, some Dennis the Menaces wanted to go out and menace, and parents and adults that wanted to counter that came up with this, methodology of, hey, we'll give them candy and entice them to come and get candy and they won't pull tricks on us anymore.
Storekeepers and neighbors began giving treats or bribes to stop the tricks, and children were encouraged to travel door to door for treats as an alternative to troublemaking. By the late 30s, trick or treat became the holiday greeting.
It's as easy as that. No Satan involved. No demons. No Satanists and their covens sacrificing babies. And in fact, a part of Christian history. A Christian holiday, really. Although most of you don't consider Catholics Christian. But that's the history of it. And if you're going to spew some bullshit, well, you should at least know the history. But you guys are so scared for your immortal souls, that this corporate holiday that rich people make more money off of is going to corrupt something that doesn't exist and be judged by another thing that doesn't exist. It's fucking hilarious to me. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share me on your social media, comment in the comment section below, hit that bell so you're notified every time I put out a new video or every time I have a new live stream. And my Patreon, I'm really trying to get better at it. It's got solo material for Patreon only. You can see most of this for just $1 a month. If you're interested in Patreon, links are in the description below. Send me an email if you'd like to come on the show and have a conversation. But I'm being selective. I'm not really interested in conversations right now, at least not with Christians. Maybe with some atheists, maybe with some secular humanists, maybe with some Satanists even. But I'm kind of tired of talking to Christians. And you patrons are the shit. Your guys' support, it means everything. I never forget it. I've never thought that I'd have people that just support me for being me and doing the work that I do here in my spare time. You guys are the shit. I love you. And for all of you, well, I'm going to see you soon.